You just need to have a CRM. Doesn't matter which one. And like I said, if you want to use a piece of paper, an old school yellow pad of paper to keep up to date, you can do that. Doesn't matter. Okay, so step one, have a system to nurture. Have a system. We've talked about having 300 people. If you have 300 people and you're doing a specific contact plan, you'll get potentially 43 closings per year. I'm going to show you how to lower that down. So say you only have 250 people. We'll do some math on 250 people here in a minute so you can kind of see what 250 people turns out to be. But I'm going to show you how your contacts can really only need to be like maybe 20 people, or I'm sorry, 2 people a day. Can you commit to calling 2 people a day? Now, these days we have text messaging. Can you text message? Yes. Can you count it? Yes, but only if you get a response back and you talk a little bit about real estate, chalk it up, move on to the next one. Here's another important thing I want to remind you, and this is in Brian Eisenhower's module series Solo. It's called Solo, module 6. It talks about it isn't a game of, how does he word it? Brian says it's not about the quality of the contact. It's not about the quality. It's about the number of contacts. Okay, so, but in today's market, with what we're dealing with today, shrink it down to doable, what you're able to get done this week. What are you able to do this week that you can accomplish, okay? So we talked about number one, if you listen to Brian Eisenhower's Real Estate Roundtable, you'll hear him talk about, hey, can you at least try to fill out 3 listing referral-based systems a day? I got on the internet for a minute because a few people started reaching out to me. I'm going to get in here and share my screen for a second, and it may not be. And I'm just going to sit here and I'm going to Google search real estate listing lead sources um, with referral fees. And I just typed that in there, okay? And right away down here, it comes up with the 8 sources for 2025. Top 8 sources. And I don't promote any of these companies I click on. They're just a simple Google search, trying to get you to sign up for something. But right away pops up this one called Clever, 1.5% listing fee. It may have like a startup fee. Okay, if it doesn't, sign up for that sucker. It may not do good in your area. It may do good in your area. If I can say commit to signing up to 3 of these a day this week, can you do it? I mean, simple, easy stuff. Potential to receive leads. What about sold.com? 38 to 35% zero if paid by sponsor. So if you can get a sponsor in there, sounds like you don't have to pay anything. That's cool. HomeLight. I was telling you about that one a minute ago. 33% commission referral fee to HomeLight. I've been signed up with HomeLight forever. Have I gotten any out of there? Not much. I know people that have gotten a ton out of HomeLight leads. Rocket Homes, I've never signed up to that one, but that's a new one. Agent Pronto, I am signed up to that one. I haven't gotten much out of that. Um, Upnest, Referral Exchange. This one's talking about Clever here. It's talking about Zillow. You've all known Zillow. Let's see, all these different, it breaks them down. So this is the top 8, okay? And that was a simple Google search. So if I could get you to commit this week to sign up to 3 a day, just 3 a day, that's it. Would you do it? Can you do it? All right. Now I'm feeding you something, right? Now I'm giving you some content, something to do that could potentially get you a listing this week. Both Homes of Idaho and Legacy Real Estate have broker leads. We pay for leads and we provide them to you. Are you in the leads program? That's another option. Are you going to make less money on your SOI? Heck yeah. But it should pan out in the end. Now, just know that those leads do take a little bit of ramp up. They do. Karen Brown's not on here, but she's killed it and crushed it in Idaho with a ton of leads this year. Last year, she spent all year doing nothing. Like she didn't get any. Very few. This year, it took off like a rocket because it took a little bit for her to get going and get things going. So just know that they are only going to give them to the people that are actually doing the 10 days of pain. So there's work. The bad word, work, 10 days of pain. You're going to have to be doing 9 to 12 calls before you can consider it dead. Don't ever mark it dead, or Andreas will probably take you out and kick you out. Okay? Same thing in California. If you're on the leads program with Legacy, don't ever mark them dead. Or April Martin and the crew will kick you out. Those ISAs will kick you out left and right. Yeah, easy, because they want to see that you're leaving them, and the more you leave them, the more they're going to give you. The more notes you leave, the better you're doing the system. They see that. They feel like, okay, they're going to get paid only if you close. So they see you working it, they're going to want to give you more. Another great lead source, okay? The brokerage. If you don't want to do the brokerage, sign up on these your own. That's why it's under the solo module series, because it's to help a solo agent. People on a team get fed leads on teams, okay? When you're doing it solo, you got to get out there and hunt and look for ways to fish. You got to fish, which means you got to get out there and get a fishing pole in the water. You got to start signing up for all these lead sources. Here's another one. Okay, we're going to do some math, and this is right out of Brian's module series too. I like the way he did this, right? Because typically we're like, okay, 300 closings a year, you're doing a 100 contact plan per year. You have them all set up in a contact plan, and then you're going to turn around and do um, if you have that many contacts going out, you're going to be potentially pulling 7-to-1 ratio, comes out to about 43 closings a year, right? Well, I like the way he did this math, much easier for me, okay? So say you had a 250 SOI database, okay? Let's do the math. 52 weeks a year, but Brian says I'm going to give you 2 weeks off, so that breaks it down to 50. So now you have 50 weeks in a year. You get 2 weeks off. Congratulations. You work hard. 5 business days in a week, okay, times 50 equals 250 business days in a year. Okay, very simple math so far, right? So let's say you got to make 2 phone calls to your SOI per year, only 2. Okay, so remember we got 250 that you plugged into your CRM or you wrote down on your lined paper. I don't care, just do it. Okay, so that's 500 calls a year you got to make. 500. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. Don't get scared, because 250 days, that's 2 phone calls per day. That's it. Only 2 phone calls per day, 5 days a week. Only 2. Can you do that? Start this week. And don't say I'm trying to set my system up before I start making calls, because what that means is you're going to take that much longer to get into production. So no better day to start than today. It's a Monday. And make a plan this week, Monday through Friday, to contact just 2 people a day. That's it. 2 a day. That's if you have 250 people in your database. Now, if you start to increase that database, which that should be your plan. So now I'm going to get out of Brian's module series, and I'm going to talk about adding new people to your database. Feed the machine, which is in one of his modules too, is now you got to reach somebody new. Now, when you're making those phone calls 2 a day, one of the things should be saying is, hey, don't forget about me, my brother Jeff, whoever SOI you're calling. Don't forget I do real estate. Who do you know from high school that maybe I could reach out to and just introduce myself? I'm not going to harass him. I'm just going to say, hey, don't forget it. Jeff's my brother. I'm a realtor. Any chance I might be able to help you in the future, or do you know of anybody? It's a referral database system. You're asking each person for a referral. That's why that 7-to-1 ratio works, because you're not going to sell potentially to 300 people. That you are going to sell to some of those, but it's who do they know? You're asking for a referral from every one of these people. All right, I was going to get into vendors today too, because vendors is huge. I got another lead yesterday. I got a listing appointment today. I haven't done a listing appointment in a while. I've just been coaching everybody else on what to do. Holy mackerel. And my wife said, hey, you got a listing appointment today? I go, oh yeah, I do. Because Francine Holden from Home Warranty of America called Sean Cardoza and said, hey, I got a friend in Emmett, Idaho that needs to sell her house. She's moving back to California. Can you help her? Now, if I never kept in touch with Francine, do you think she would refer me? Probably not. She is part of my referral database system, and she should be part of yours too, because she shows up to our meetings in California. How many home warranty companies are giving you referrals? How many lenders are giving you referrals? How many home inspectors are giving you referrals? So I had this question in my BNI group the other day, and I was talking to somebody, and I said, He goes, "Hey, don't forget about me, you know?" Or no, actually, it was a pest company that showed up and did some spraying on my house. They're part of my BNI group. And I said, "Hey, now that I gave you a job, it's my turn. Who do you got for me? Don't forget I'm a real estate broker. I need some referrals. What do you got?" And they're like, "Oh, no realtors ever asked me that." That's a problem. If you're not asking your vendors for referrals, how are they going to know that you want a referral? You got to ask them for a referral, guys. Some easy ways to do this, okay? I'm going to make it easy. I'm going to actually show you if I can pull this up on my photos here. I think you might like to see it. Make it a little easier. Okay. Easy contact plans. Okay, I'm going to give you three very easy contact plans. This one right here is, let's just call this the boring plan. The boring plan, okay, that you can start this week. 26 emails. Okay, remember you only want to spend 10% of your current income on marketing. All right, 10% of your current income. Okay, so 10% of your of how much you're bringing in. But 5% of that can go to mailers. 5% of that 10% can go to mailers because 26 emails is free. Doesn't cost you any money. You get the CRM for free. You know, Google Gmail is free unless you run out of space. Then they're going to start charging you for more space. So 26 emails. Now, that's because there's extra weeks in a month. I like to do one a month. So I like to break it down to 12, but depends on what I'm sending them. If you're setting them up on an e-listing alert around their house that they currently own or they're renting, and they're seeing properties hit the market before you send it, that's a good email to send. E-listing alert. Hey, did you see Joe's house just popped on the market? I saw a sign go out front. Oh yeah, I got an email from Sean last week about that it was going active. And then the sign went up today. Sign typically is supposed to go up after the property is active on the market. It's not supposed to go up before. So they should be finding out from you if they're SOI before they find out from a sign popping up on a house across the street. If not, that's a simple thing to do, guys. Simple. Can you commit to me for 20 minutes a day this week to get in your CRM, add people in there, and set them up on an auto email listing alert to go out? Your CRMs all do it. Or if you don't want to use the CRM, you want to do it in your MLS, do it in the MLS. You just simply find where they live, do a little circle around, a really tight circle around their neighborhoods. So, try to make it as tight as possible so that they're not seeing everything. They just want to see that. Choose the option ASAP. Like you want to send that as soon as possible. That meaning as fast as that hits the market, it's going to send them an email. Only new listings or, pending and sold. You can do that too. But if you make it really tight, they're not getting flooded with emails. They're just getting one that goes in that market in their neighborhood. That's an email. That's part of that 26 emails you can have going out. Okay, 12 mailers. Now I'm spending a little money. Only 5% because that could be pricey. And two phone calls per year. Now I just told you, two phone calls per year, 250 database is only two phone calls a day. That's it. Two a day. That's it. Can you commit to two a day? That's it. That's all I ask. Just two a day. I like that one. Okay, how about this? Plan number two. So that first plan we call the boring plan. It's a little boring, but I'm telling you it works. It works if you're consistent with it. Two phone calls a day, 12 emails, 26 emails, or however many you want. 12 mailers. That's boring, but it works. Okay, this one's your give to get that Brian put out. It's 18 emails, 12 mailers. They're spending some money again. 18 emails, you're not spending money. 12 mailers, I'm spending money. Three phone calls to your database. One pop by, drop by. That's just when you stop by. Hey, I just happened to be in the neighborhood, just curious, just wanted to see, just bring you this gift. Or hey, I just sorry to just stop by. I hadn't seen you in a while, and I just happened to be around, so I wanted to see how you're going. Awesome. Hey, I got these new stickers. Wanted to give you one. Give it out to your kid. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Reminded them you're a realtor. One client appreciation event. Now, these don't have to be difficult, guys. One a year. Okay, no, Brian, I like the way he says it. If you're a female and you have a male spouse, that's good. Have them dress up as Santa and do Santa with cookies. All right. or dress up in a bunny outfit. We've done that for years on the Cardozo Real Estate Group team in California. We had we didn't do it this year. Well, we should have hired her back. I bet you she would have come and put the suit back on. But my old office manager Renee Jansen, she used to get in that bunny suit, and she would be the bunny when we would do it in a park, and we brought in big numbers. We didn't do it this year. It was kind of sad, but need to get back to that. All right. So one event, that's it. 4 event invitations. So that's just simply reaching out and giving out invitations to your people. And one post-event highlight. That's it. Giving a lot. How about this? Plan number 3. Actually, I like this one better. Here we go. Plan number 3, it's all hustle. All right. They're not spending any money. You're doing a lot of hustling, a lot of running. 4 quarterly newsletters. Okay, that's where you just do every quarter, you do a newsletter out to your SOI. You can talk about the market, you can talk about the new restaurant that popped up in the neighborhood. Go take some pictures of it, put it in your newsletter, and send it out. Drop it by, pop it by, send it in the mail, email it out, send it on social media. I don't care. Just get out 4 newsletters per year. Okay, 26 emails. Still there, free. Last I checked, emails are still free. 1 client appreciation of it. That's it. Just 1. 4 invitations, 3 phone calls, 1 Facebook direct message, and 1 pop by. These aren't hard to do. The hardest part is doing it, though, is making yourself do it each day and doing it consistently. The consistency is the key, because you could sit there and do all this work and then quit after 3 months and you lost all your momentum. Just remember, this is a momentum thing. I've always said it's like a tire stuck in the mud. It's the best way. Let's say the snow, because we're in Idaho. If the tire's stuck in the snow, it's not moving. So finally it starts to break loose because you're gunning it and you're giving it gas and it takes off like a rocket. But that's about 3 to 6 months before it starts taking off with a brand new agent. But if you've already been an agent, you've been successful, and maybe you're just in the dumps right now and it's a little bit of a struggle. So you've got to get back to a consistent system of nurturing. Any consistency is going to make a big difference. And nurturing at your level, what you're capable of doing, but just doing it a little bit every day. So as a coach, I'm going to say, if you can commit to this week, we're going to talk about it on Friday. We'll see how you succeeded. And then 1 week at a time, 1 week at a time. We'll continue to grow on this, and don't stop. Keep that pedal down. I promise you, you'll start seeing some success. All right. Anything for me? That's 30 minutes.
So when you say make contacts, but when you make contacts, would it just be real estate, or would you reach out? Because I have a few people that, now that I've told them I'm in real estate, they've, said, oh, I want to invest or I want to buy in the future. Would I
Mhm.
just reach out and always talk about real estate, or do I just reach out and just say, hey, how are you? How's your week going? Just so.
Great. I love it. So there's 2 ways, 2 rules of thumb. One is remember I said consistency versus quality, right? So so the best way to do it is at least one of those calls a year, because you remember 2 phone calls a year. At least one of them needs to be this. Hey, this is Sean. Hey, it's Sean. How you doing? Yeah, great. Just it's a quick business call. I've got a few different people I'm following up with today. I just want to remind you I'm doing real estate. Don't forget about me. You know of anyone looking to buy, sell, or invest? Okay, I'll call you later. We'll talk about the puppies that were born. I'll give you a call this afternoon. You gonna be around this afternoon? Awesome. Great. Let me move on to the next one, but I'm just trying to get through my calls. I'm doing my due diligence. Bam, you plugged it. They're going to respect you a whole lot more than if you go, hey, how's it going? How those puppies going? Oh, I heard you had new grandbabies. Great. And then you spend 20 minutes on the phone, and then you go, oh, by the way, do you know of anyone looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? They're going to go, this was a 20-minute fake call. You just wasted 20 minutes of their time. Some people look at it that way. And so you got to be a little careful. If you're going to plug your business, if you're going to do it that way, where you just calling, just checking in with them, checking about the new babies born, new grandbabies, whatever it is, you're just catching up with them, do it. Spend some time with them. Have some conversations. It's your SOI. Find ways to plug in there though. So a lot of times I'm like, we're talking and saying, yeah, so how's the new job been going? Oh, it's been going good. Yeah, no, we've got whole new people we recruited to our new company. Yeah, no, it's doing great. Awesome. And it usually entices them to say, "How about you? How's the market been?" So it usually entices them to respond that way. Or you just say, "Oh yeah, yeah, I hear you. Yeah, it's been a little tough times lately. Yeah, we've been seeing that in real estate too. A lot of realtors are struggling. Ours have been doing pretty good, but working in real estate's been challenging the last couple years. I bet that's been happening in your business too. So I plugged my business like a radio plug, right? I plugged my business, but I did it nonchalantly. So one is don't forget, this is your sphere of influence. So have fun with these conversations for sure. Have fun with it. Don't stress over it, but if remember that our goal is consistency in the numbers or how many can I make? So if you're shooting for, I'm telling you only if you have 250 people in your database, you only need to call them 2 a year, but you need to have all these other systems set up. So you need to block time out of your schedule. The biggest fell in real estate agents is time blocking. It truly is. If you were to block 30 minutes and hey, I'm not done with this project, but I got to get on the next one. It's okay. Put it aside. Get on the next one, but you better stick to that time block tomorrow to get back in it and finishing what you were doing, which could be setting people up in emails to go out, setting maybe creating some new smart plans that you want to tag people on and hashtag them on so you can get them going. Doesn't matter what it is, but you just got to stick to that time clock each day because you're working and we got a work schedule to work on. That's usually the biggest struggle. When it comes to making those phone calls, if you're going to do the 20 a day and try to get through as many calls as you can, just remember that, especially if you're new, you could be making a lot of calls a day. Just remember, rule of thumb, stick to the script. There's some really good scripts in the ICC module series about contacting your SOI mod or your SOI contact plan, and it talks about just get through it. Don't stay on the phone any longer than 10 minutes because you got to work. You got to get to the next one. And so you make it like, hey, this is a business call. They're going to respect you a lot more if you say this is a business call. I'll call you a little later. We'll talk about the grandkids, but I'm just trying to get through my people, make sure everybody knows that I'm a realtor, and then we'll talk later. So just know anyone if you ran anyone at work, anything like that, anyone looking to buy, sell, or invest that maybe I can reach out to, or maybe you can offer my services for me. Nope. Okay. I'll give you a call around 2 o'clock today. Are you available? Awesome. Then you move on. Get to the next ones. Get to the next ones. Get through those calls. They'll respect you a whole lot more. Hope that helped. Anyone else? All right. You got the link in there. Get on the Real Estate Agent Roundtable, like it, and start following it. You should start getting those Monday morning motivators from Brian Eisenhower. Highly suggest in there. Stay close to it. It's a big deal, and it will change your game. So, and then get online this week. Try to find 3 this week a day to sign up to some of those referral systems. See if you can start getting some organic calls in from some of these free systems that they take a percentage. They're going to take 35%. I do Dave Ramsey. It's been a really great source for us. We're the #1 Dave Ramsey agent in Tulare County right now with the most sales, but it costs me $3,000 to get in on. So some of those cost money, but a lot of them do not. I've been trying to get into Treasure Valley, Idaho, Dave Ramsey for a long time. And my rep says, there's no openings yet. There's no openings yet. I'm like, come on, I'm #1 in another state. It's got to be something for someone that's #1. Get me in there. And I can't even get into it. But those are pricey. There's a
I
lot of freebies out there.
I have a quick question, Sean. So if you already have listings that are active and they're not pending yet, do you normally send out mailers after they go pending, or um, do you wait till you sell them and then you market that neighborhood?
The listing is the reason to market, so I would send it out for all activities. If you're able to if you've been door knocking enough and you're really starting to get to be friends with the neighbors around your listing, just know that listing might be on the market for 45 days. That's 45-day opportunities. Every day is an opportunity to market it. If it goes pending, then you got more time to market it. I mean, the whole goal of that listing is to get more listings around it. Occasionally, they'll get a buyer, especially in this market. Buyers are hard to come by. The more listings you have, the fatter your listing portal is, the more opportunities are going to come to play, the more sales you're going to have. So yeah, I would try to use all of them. Pending, if you get to know the neighborhood really well to where they trust you and give you emails, send them an email. Hey, your neighbor's house went pending. Hey, your neighbor's house just sold. Yeah, I would hit them all. Is that what you mean, Blanca?
Yes, okay.
I would
But
hit
you
them
do it by you would do it by door knocking, or do you use mail? What do you think it's better?
both.
Just door
Both.
knocking? Oh.
Mailers, unless you've got to know them, just know that if you're just blanketing a neighborhood for farming,
Mhm.
your letters need to be handwritten. They need to be specific. They need to be something that's not going to just go trash. Um, if they're your SOI, there's better response because they know you, you're their friend, you're a celebrity in their life when they all of a sudden get a mailer. You are a celebrity. That's how they think. So your mailers are better spent on your SOI. If you're trying to really get things going, better spent on your SOI. If you're blanketing a neighborhood, you just better to do like handwritten notes or something like that to that be, less chances, they got a literally handwritten letter. We're going to open this. Let's see what it's all about. They're going to
Mhm.
read it. If it's just a postcard for 50 cents, you're sending out mass produce them, they're going to trash it. So I would say door knocking would be better. Answer your question.
Okay.
Every time it goes pending or sold, hey, just letting you know. Also, I printed a quick CMA about what's going on. Here's a CMA for you. Just letting you know your neighbor's house went sold. And here's the other ones that are currently active and sold. If you know of anyone wanting to move into the neighborhood that maybe I can reach out. Do you know of anyone? Okay, I'm going to do an open house on this one up the street. You want to come join me? Come check it out. You want to see what your neighbor's house looks like. Stuff like that. Yeah, good stuff.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's circle prospecting. I love circle prospecting around a listing. It's amazing. Does really well. Anything else? Good questions, guys. Love when you get me talking.
I
All
have
right.
another one, Sean.
Yeah, go
Would
for it.
you circle, hi, would you circle prospect around a listing? One of my neighbor's houses has been on the market for over a month. They've had a few open houses, but no one has ever come to our door and knocked and said like, hey, we're having an open house, or do you know anybody? So I know if they're not doing it to my house, because I'm 3 doors down, they're not doing it to anybody else in the neighborhood. Would it benefit me then, as, because I'm not affiliated with this listing at all, to just go and door knock and hand out my card and say, hey, if you know anyone, we know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember the co-op. All right. So we have a co-op agreement through the California Association of Realtors, Idaho Association of Realtors, National Association of Realtors. We have a co-op agreement to sell that house. So we have agreed to help sell that house, every listing on the market. Now, if you're sending out print material, you need to put a little disclosure that says listing courtesy of blah, 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 blah. But you don't need any material. I can go view that house and say, hey, I wanted to view the house. I'm looking for some buyers and stuff to see if I can help someone move into my neighborhood. Do you mind if I do a viewing of your home? I'm just gonna view it myself so I can get to know the floor plan, and then I want to try to do some marketing to my buyers that I have to see if I can help sell this sucker for you. Is that all right? And they're gonna say, heck yeah, go. Yeah, let me. What time you want to go see it? And I do this. People do this. I've done it on my listings. I'm like, yeah, sell it. So then you view the house. And then you door knock that same time. You door knock the neighbor on the right, neighbor on the left, three across the street. And you say, your script is this. Hey, so I'm so and so company. We're trying to sell this house across the street, trying to find a buyer for it. Just curious, do you know of anyone looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? I really didn't say that house. Buy, sell, or invest. Do you know anyone? It's my reason to door knock the neighborhood. Now I can do it to the entire street if I want, once a week if I want. My goal is to get to know everybody. So circle prospecting around someone else's listing. I don't care if it's Remax. Doesn't matter. KW, C21, doesn't matter whose it is. Circle prospect around it. Get to know that house and try to sell it. You have an agreement co-op to do that. So 100% yes.
Okay. Thank
Yep.
you.
If you do any print material online or see anything like that, you might want to call them though. Say, hey, do you mind if I market your listing? I noticed it's been sitting, it's in my own neighborhood. I would love to market it. Do you mind if I kind of do some social media marketing? I'll put a little blurb in there that listing courtesy of you because it's your listing. Would you mind? Heck yeah, they're going to say yes. If they say no, they're fools because they're trying to sell a listing. They're always going to say yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Chris, I think you started to talk. Were you
I was
just
just saying,
by?
I thought we were done. I was just thanking
Saying,
you.
see you, Sean. Yeah. Thanks, Chris. All right, guys. Anything else? Going
Thank you.
once, going twice. Have a blessed week. Commit to something small. Commit to something big, but go get it. Don't waste any time.